Hi, Alex Kidman from Finder.com.au doing a brief video review of LG's new LG G6 smartphone. Now this is their premium smartphone for 2017, announced just a couple of weeks ago at Mobile World Congress and sent relatively rapidly to market. In design terms, LG has redefined where they want their smartphone stuff to go. With the G5, which was the predecessor to this particular phone, they went with a modular approach, and it was innovative, it was kind of clever, but ultimately it didn't really look all that good and it really didn't work all that well. You had to pull the battery out to attach new modules, and that was always a massive pain in the butt. So for the G6, they've gone for a much more standardised, fairly conservative kind of design, but it's one that feels good, it feels premium, it feels good in the hand, and it's not too slippery. The majority of controls are at the rear with a fingerprint sensor, which also acts as the power button just underneath the camera, and then volume buttons at the side. I mean, it's fairly simple. The display screen itself has an 18:9 ratio, and I'll get to that in a second, but it's a nice, bright, high-resolution screen. It's a good piece of kit in design terms, and it looks the part of a premium phone. So what do we like about this particular phone? Well, for a start, it's nicely powerful. The G6 is based off Qualcomm's Snapdragon 821 SoC. Now that's basically the same beating heart as Google's Pixel phones or the HTC U Ultra, but at least in our testing, both anecdotal and with benchmarks, the G6 outperforms both of those phones, and that's important. That means it's actually pushing that processor quite hard. It's not quite the top of the tree. Obviously, you've got the Snapdragon 835 coming in phones like the Samsung Galaxy S8 or the Sony Xperia XZ Premium, but for right now, this is the most powerful phone you can buy, and it's here and it's already tested and working. We've obviously got to test the 835 or the Exynos, as we'll get for the Australian Galaxy S8s, to see really whether or not they do live up to their hype. This one certainly does. The dual camera array that was found on the G5 returns, and it's a single standard lens and a wide lens. This gives you a lot of photographic capabilities. It's a very neat, very fast camera. I won't show you camera shots here, but if you go to our full review at finder.com.au, you can peruse those at your leisure. The 18:9 screen also means that it can incorporate this neat little square camera, where it uses one half of the screen to show you what you're actually trying to shoot and the other half to show you the results. They include a few fun modes here, and this is obviously aimed at your kind of Instagram-esque crowd. This is also a good way to show off how that 18:9 screen works for multitasking. LG's contention, and I'd largely agree with it, is that it works quite well if you want to run multiple apps. This is an Android 7 phone, so that's baked into the operating system, although not every app supports multi-screen modes or does it terribly well. The 18:9 can be a bit of a challenge there as well because it's a slightly unusual ratio, although LG does provide a tool to resize apps so that they will fit best. Quite often for a lot of apps you will just end up with that permanent toolbar at the base. It still works quite well. This is also the first phone outside of Google's own Pixel to have the Google Assistant built in. And if you like your AI assistants, it works very, very well. Obviously, you're telling Google a fair amount about yourself, but you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it. LG also said they wanted to concentrate on producing a phone which was well suited for everyday user tasks, and with that in mind, they made this waterproof, and I can test that right here and now. This will either explode or it won't, but I don't think it will because I've already done this test a couple of times myself, and it works fine. You're not actually going to operate your phone from within a large jug of water, but I can pull that out and dry it off, and it's none the worse for wear. It doesn't mean it can take every single splash. That's relatively clean water, and that's the way that phone water resistance ratings are calculated. But for accidental splashes or getting caught in the rain or whatever, or let's face it, getting dropped down the toilet, it happens, people, then it should survive okay. But obviously in that latter case, just wash it off really carefully. What don't I like about this phone? Well, one thing that LG had to let go of from the previous G-series phones was the removable battery. This is a fully sealed battery, so as it degrades over time, and they all do, that's the way lithium-ion works, this is going to get stuck in there. You're going to have to pay someone to actually do the repair, replace, and remove. The design of the way they've done their launcher is a little bit odd. I showed you that Square Camera app, and currently this is running the Home launcher, which is their default launcher. Square Camera app shows up. Put it in the App Drawer launcher mode, and the Square Camera app vanishes. It's nowhere to be seen. It's a really curious thing, which hopefully they'll just deal with a software update, because it's not a great idea, really, to hide away your own features. You can also make the argument that what LG has done by returning to basics with this is produce a basic premium smartphone, and that's an argument with a fair amount of weight to it. This is not a wow-bang phone, it's just a really good phone. Now on to pricing. In Australia, the G6 is an exclusive to Telstra at the moment. It will be coming to retail partners later, but right now if you want one, Telstra is your port of call. They sell it outright for $1,008, which is quite competitive in the premium smartphone space. But what's probably a better deal if you're quick, their launch special for it includes a 43-inch Full HD TV. That's undeniably the biggest bonus I've ever seen on a mobile plan. It's also just about the best value one that I've seen. So if this entices you, that would be the deal that I would suggest you go for. That's not on every Telstra plan, it's only on some of the higher ones. As I mentioned at the outset, this isn't a full review. If you want the full specifications and photos and benchmarks and all the plan details, check out my full review at finder.com.au.